The night started like any other. Quiet roads, late hours, and no one was expecting the next headline to involve Britney Spears. But suddenly, flashing police lights cut through the darkness, and within minutes, one of the most famous pop stars in the world found herself at the center of a shocking incident that fans never saw coming. According to reports, the drama unfolded late Wednesday night when officers noticed a vehicle allegedly swerving from lane to lane. At first, it looked like a routine traffic stop, but when police pulled the car over, they realized the driver wasn't just anyone. It was Britney Spears. For millions of fans who grew up watching her dominate music charts and pop culture, the news spread fast. Social media exploded almost instantly with people asking the same question: what exactly happened that night? Dispatch audio reportedly confirmed that officers observed the unusual driving pattern before initiating the stop. What started as a simple roadside check quickly escalated into something far more serious. Before long, Britney was taken into custody, a moment that stunned fans across the internet. And the timeline that followed only added to the shock. Sources say Britney was taken to a nearby hospital where authorities conducted a blood test before transporting her to jail. By the time the early morning hours rolled around, she had officially been booked just after 3 a.m. For someone whose life has already been under a microscope for decades, the situation was unfolding in the most public way possible. But while the headlines focused on the arrest itself, insiders claimed the emotional toll was already becoming clear behind the scenes. Reports suggest Britney appeared extremely distressed during the process, with sources saying she was visibly shaken by the situation. Yet the arrest was only the beginning, because as details started leaking out, another twist in the story began grabbing attention. Something that usually becomes public almost instantly in celebrity arrests was suddenly missing. No viral image, no shocking snapshots circulating online. When celebrities get arrested, there's usually one thing that spreads across the internet almost instantly: the mugshot. Within minutes, those booking photos often end up everywhere, becoming viral images that live on for years. But this time, something unusual happened. The mugshot of Britney Spears may never see the light of day. After the arrest made headlines, fans and media outlets immediately started searching for the booking photo. It's practically routine in high-profile cases. But hours passed, then an entire day, and still nothing appeared. No image, no leaked photo, just silence. That's when reporters reached out to the Ventura County Sheriff's Office to find out what was going on, and the answer surprised a lot of people. Officials explained that Britney's booking photo falls under what they call a discretionary release. In other words, the department doesn't automatically make every mugshot public. According to their policy, those photos are usually released only under specific circumstances, like when someone is accused of a violent crime or considered an immediate threat to public safety. In Britney's case, authorities reportedly determined that the charges simply didn't meet that threshold, so instead of releasing the image to the public, they made the decision to keep it private. For many fans, that explanation raised just as many questions as it answered. Some online users began speculating about what the photo might look like, while others debated whether the decision was meant to protect the pop star's privacy during an already intense moment. And because the department rarely bends its policy once a decision is made, insiders say the photo will likely remain locked away in official records, never posted online, never added to the long list of famous celebrity mugshots circulating on the internet. But while the public was busy wondering about the missing photo, something far more emotional was reportedly happening inside the jail. While the public was busy searching for answers, the situation inside the jail was reportedly far more emotional than anyone realized. Behind closed doors, sources say Britney Spears was going through an incredibly difficult moment. After being taken into custody, Britney was reportedly transported to a nearby hospital, where authorities conducted a blood test as part of the investigation. From there, she was taken to the station and officially booked into jail just after 3 a.m. For most people, those early morning hours pass quietly, but for Britney, they appeared to be filled with stress, confusion, and overwhelming emotions. According to insiders familiar with the situation, the pop icon was extremely emotional during her time behind bars. Sources claim she spent much of that time in tears, struggling to process how quickly the night had spiraled out of control. Just hours earlier, she had been driving down a dark road. Now she was sitting in a holding area, facing the reality of an arrest that was already starting to make headlines. For someone who has lived under constant public scrutiny for decades, moments like this can feel even more intense. Every move, every detail, and every rumor spreads across the internet within minutes, and sources suggest Britney was painfully aware of that reality as the situation unfolded. Despite the emotional night, the timeline moved quickly. Authorities completed the booking process in the early morning hours, and by around 6 a.m., Britney was released from custody. The entire incident lasted only a few hours, but the impact of those hours was already echoing across social media and news outlets. Still, the arrest itself wasn't the only issue investigators were looking into, because during the traffic stop, officers reportedly discovered something else inside the vehicle, something that could potentially complicate the situation even further. Just when it seemed like the situation couldn't get any more complicated, another detail from that late-night stop started raising serious questions. During the search connected to the traffic stop, officers reportedly discovered something inside the vehicle, pills believed to be Adderall. According to sources speaking to TMZ, the medication allegedly belonged to Britney and had reportedly been purchased during a trip to Mexico. At first glance, that might not sound dramatic. After all, Adderall is a commonly prescribed medication in the United States, but the legal situations surrounding it can get complicated very quickly. Authorities began examining the pills more closely because medications purchased outside the country can sometimes contain different ingredients or concentrations, and that's where things get tricky. If investigators determine the pills were altered, mislabeled, or mixed with other substances, the legal consequences could become far more serious. Sources say the discovery immediately became part of the ongoing investigation tied to the arrest. While the traffic stop itself already raised concerns, the presence of the pills introduced a completely new layer to the case. Right now, officials are focused on determining exactly what's inside the medication. Depending on the results of that analysis, Britney could potentially face additional legal issues tied to possession. For fans following the story online, the revelation sparked a wave of speculation. Some people questioned whether the medication was legally prescribed. Others wondered whether the situation was being blown out of proportion. But at this point, many of the details remain unclear, and insiders stress that the investigation is still unfolding. What is clear, however, is that the pressure surrounding the situation has reportedly pushed Britney to consider taking a step that could change the course of what happens next. After the discovery of the pills and the whirlwind of emotions from the arrest, insiders say Britney Spears may be taking the situation very seriously. Sources familiar with her current mindset suggest that she's willing to undergo a treatment plan, and some even hint that she could check into rehab again. It wouldn't be the first time the pop star has sought professional help. Over the years, Britney's fans have watched her navigate highly publicized struggles with her mental health and personal life. This latest episode seems to have triggered a renewed focus on taking proactive steps for her well-being. Rumors are already swirling online. Some speculate that entering a treatment program could be a way to show authorities she's taking responsibility, while also protecting her health and career in the long term. Others suggest it could be a private decision, done quietly with the support of her closest allies and family. Insiders say Britney has been open to options and is reportedly considering programs that focus on both mental health and substance management. Fans have reacted with a mix of concern and hope, with many expressing a desire to see her get back on track in a safe, supportive environment. While the exact plan hasn't been made public, this willingness to seek help sends a strong signal. Britney is taking control of her next steps, and with her family reportedly stepping in to support her during this period, the coming weeks could be pivotal for her personal journey. Through all the chaos and uncertainty, one constant appears to be the support of Britney's family. Sources say her two sons, Sean Preston and Jaden James, are planning to spend time with their mom following the arrest. For many fans, this is a deeply humanizing moment. Despite the flashing cameras, viral headlines, and relentless public scrutiny, Britney is still a mother, and her children's presence seems to provide a source of comfort during an incredibly stressful time.